The Wizards trying to win the first two on the road for the second straight round. Whole lot of talk in Pacer camp. What is wrong with Indiana? Roy Hibbert. No points, no rebounds. Did have 5 personal fouls in the Game 1 loss. The plan early on was to go to Hibbert often, with them already up by 6, make it a 15-7 game. Hibbert scored the game's first 5 points. He was 3 of 3 with 7 points and 3 rebounds in the first quarter. So already better than what he did in Game 1. John Thompson III, Georgetown coach, liking what he's seeing from the former Hoya. Bad news here for the Wizards. Nene, who's been battling injuries throughout this season, appears to sprain his left ankle. He would leave the game briefly, but we'll show you more from Nene in a couple of moments. Without Nene, Washington goes on a 16-6 run to tie and eventually take the lead in the second quarter. Marcin-Gortat, 21 points, 11 rebounds. Now Nene comes back, and with him, Wall feeds him. The touch. He had 8 in the first half. Nene puts Washington up by 2. Now Roy Hibbert with an answer. It wasn't just a fluke early on in the first quarter. Hibbert with 17 first-half points. He also hit all 7 of his free throws over the first 2 quarters. But the Wizards were still up by 2 at the break, so even with Hibbert playing great, Lance Stevenson, he was trying to find a groove and was just shooting Indiana out of the game, it appeared. He missed his first 8 shots, but George Hill making up for it here. 12 points after the first 3 quarters for the point guard from Indianapolis. Now Roy Hibbert, part of an 8-1 Indy run. They're up by 2. Here, Lance Stevenson. Yeah, maybe this could get him going. That put the Pacers up by 7. Stevenson, 2 of 11, 10 points heading into the fourth quarter. Bradley Beal makes it a 1-point game. The Wizards keeping it coming. Nene getting back into it. Part of a 10-2 run. Nene, 14 points. And now Washington is back up by 2. Roy Hibbert, his last 4 games combined, scored 13 points and had 9 rebounds. How about a season-best 28 points from Hibbert in Game 2? He had 9 rebounds, shot 10 of 13. Andre Miller, Washington back up by 2. So despite the great play from Hibbert, Washington not going away, and they may win it. Here comes that Indiana defense. Paul George the steal, George Hill the lay-in. Indiana is up by 1. And while Indiana goes on a 10-2 run of its own, the Wizards couldn't hit anything. Paul George puts the home team up by 3. Meanwhile, John Wall, he struggled, and so did Bradley Beal. While Indiana was hot, the Wizards were shooting 1 of 6 from the field during this stretch. Washington so good from downtown in Game 1, not even close in Game 2. So now it's 82-79, under a minute to go, and here comes George Hill with the strip of John Wall. And on the other end, Paul George to Lance Stevenson, who finally found that groove, hitting 3 of his final 4 shots after starting the game 0 for 8. And this series is all tied up at a game apiece. Wizards just 5 of 21 from downtown and only 5 of 12 from the free throw line. Game 3 in the nation's capital on Friday.